to Nerdmageddon. Hello, nerds, and welcome back to Nerdmageddon here on KZLX 106.7 The Ville, and also with our friends KNWT.
We're not the Ville.
We're not the Ville.
We're the X.
We're the X.
The Ville is the other one.
Yep. I am the general manager of the station. I should know this. It's a day, guys. I am your friendly neighborhood feline who doesn't know where she is, Corey Herzog. With me is Devin Vinzant, the awesome possum.
Inertia is a property of matter.
The youngest of our group, our little boy, Will Linder.
I don't mean to bring this up now, but, do you guys think I have a big forehead? Look at that thing. You could land a plane on it.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
No, I think it's just the hat.
Oh, thank you.
And I guys think he's, off the hook, but we have Captain Bass, Eli Stanley.
I hate you.
You didn't earn that. You didn't get the station name right. You don't get to make jokes.
My life's a joke.
No jokes
Joke
for the rest
revoked.
of the show, because you got the station name wrong.
It's banned.
Oh, got big X over it.
No.
Okay.
Speaking of bands.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you, Will.
A lot of stuff came out over the last, few days since our last show, and one of them is they have announced that Panic at the Disco and Weezer will be part of the Frozen 2 soundtrack. Actually, Disney went ahead and released another trailer for Frozen, where they also released a snippet of the song Into the Unknown, performed by the queen herself, Idina Menzel. And they've also announced the entire soundtrack. So we're going to have All Is Found, Some Things Never Change, Into the Unknown, When I'm Older, which is going to be done by Olaf. So we're going to see how that goes.
Oh, they gave him a music number in that stupid 30-minute short.
Reindeers Are Better Than People continued.
Oh,
really?
right.
Did we need a part 2 on that particular one?
Yes, we did. Lost in the Woods, Show Yourself, The Next Right Thing, and then Panic at the Disco will be doing the cover of Into the Unknown at the end credits, followed by Casey Musgraves doing All Is Found,
Ooh.
and Weezer doing Lost in the Woods.
Weezer's such a weird pick. Panic at the Disco, when you said that, I was like, boy, I never would have thought of that, but that's right on the money for that audience. But Weezer?
However, Casey Musgraves is one of the most slept-on artists, in my opinion, because I saw her, I believe, 2 summers ago, and it was fantastic.
Awesome.
Great musician.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, no, I'm super pumped. I love all things Frozen, Frozen food, Frozen drinks, Frozen the musical on Broadway.
What about snow?
No, I hate snow.
That's frozen water.
Yeah, but I don't like snow.
So not all things.
Not all fruit.
It's been a couple years since we've had the original Frozen movie, so I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. But it doesn't feel like it. The animated short that they had maybe a couple years ago felt more of a sequel. But I guess 6-7 years later.
Hey, they gotta milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah, gotta save that girlfriend for the 3rd movie.
I read a crazy statistic. Yeah. I read a crazy statistic probably a couple months ago where kids will recognize Elsa or Olaf better than Mickey Mouse now or something like that. Or maybe maybe I'm getting this wrong. It's equal or something like that. But it's one of the most recognized characters basically of all time for kids now.
Mickey Mouse, Mario, Goku, and Spider-Man. And are up there as well.
And also
and Elsa.
The man from Pole Position. We don't really talk about
that. We are not bringing up Pole Position.
I made that joke about Elsa's girlfriend, and I don't have an opinion on the matter because I really could not.
Is it happening?
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
And basically, I want to say their reasoning for that is really interesting. They could have just said, that's not the story we wanted to tell. Our writers wrote a script, and it's not, fan pandering. Sorry about that. And they could have just stuck to their guns, and I would have respected them for that. Instead, they were like, oh, well, this movie isn't going to be focused on a romantic interest. But that was their argument about Frozen 1, and they still got Anna to kiss a boy at the end. So it seems like there's a different motivation than, they're just repeating themselves.
I mean, technically Frozen didn't focus on the relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it was focused on Elsa. And if they keep it focused on Elsa and she doesn't have a romantic interest, I think one of the things they're trying to say is like, girls, you don't need a man. You can be strong by yourself, or like something like that. Like,
yes, because we didn't get that with Mulan.
I don't know.
Or Brave.
I feel like that's a whole lot of. I much would have rather they've been like, yeah, we wrote our story and we're sticking to our guns, than try to like come up with this waffly excuse that's like clearly just them like exec speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really make it. It's not a defensible excuse if you think about it.
Well, as they're running laps around this argument, people are running laps on Mario Kart Tour for the iPhone.
Yeah.
It's a great game, by the way.
Oh well,
it's not a great. Hold on,
you are not going to like this
wait
segment.
a minute. It's not a great game, but it's an addictive game.
Oh my god!
I've
only played once.
Molly is playing it constantly at
Yeah.
home. We will literally be asking her questions, and she's like, "Hold on," and I look over, and she's playing that Mario Kart game, and I'm like, "I will take your phone away from you." She's like, "No, hold on, I'm almost done." I'm like, "I asked you a question, and it's time sensitive. What are we doing?" She's just like, "Okay, anyways." What'd you say? I'm like, I get so angry at that game. I didn't even think about downloading it like at all. But man, it just heavily interferes with my life now, apparently.
Please stop hitting the desk. Mario Kart's, no, genuinely, don't give me that look. Please stop that. Mario Kart came out and we brushed over it last week. And basically, it was a last minute edition. It had come out, I think, like a day before or 2 days before or something. And so basically all I knew about it at the time was like, oh, everybody in Wells won't shut up about this, but I'm too busy to bother. But people are really mad about this game. People are basically, this seems like sort of Animal Crossing level of Nintendo's, like, I don't want to say predatory because that sounds like really accusational, but it's a gacha game, which I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be set up like Mario Run is, with unlockable characters and like a store and things like that. It's not. It's a gacha game. You can get duplicate characters, and it's just basically like it controls bad. It wasn't hard to put together, and it's basically designed to make you spend money on it, even though you can literally, like, some tracks you can not play it at all and still get first place. So I think last week I said I'm not going to play it because it's not a double dash game, and I was kidding. That was my Scott the Woz reference coming through. But genuinely, yeah, I don't want to play this Mario Kart because it just seems like really scummy and bare bones, and not like, it seems like it's going to be fun for a week, and then after that you're just going to have to dump money into it before you get anything out of it.
I get that. Yeah, it was like terribly easy when we started playing it, probably as like a group, and then I saw people like basically unlocking everything and stuff, and then people try to spend money and with it too, and I don't know. I guess like it's just kind of fun because it makes me want to play things like Mario Kart Wii and the 64 edition and stuff. Mm-hmm. But not. I would agree with you there, where it's like it's probably gonna die out in a couple weeks, and
it's yeah. If it does hold on, it's gonna die out as soon as there's an actual Mario Kart out.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like people are just bored of Mario Kart 8, and that's all it is.
Yeah, that's why I thought about Pokemon Go too, and apparently like people still play that game, honestly, like after like all these years.
The difference is they integrated Go into their core series, and this is like your replacement for Mario Kart when you're trying to play on your phone.
Okay.
Which I hate to endorse emulation, but you can play almost any of the good Mario Karts on your phone already, So it's their little money grabbing scam is not quite. I don't know. That seems to be the gimmick. It's Mario Kart for the phone, and I feel like that's not going to carry them very far, especially when they keep everything behind lock and key, unless you pay them a lot of money.
Yeah. Speaking of things behind locks and keys, we are getting some little juicy tidbits from some of our favorite series and all that. For me, a new Ruby trailer came out today for Volume 7. I'm going to keep this as short as Blake's hair is now. But it looks good. They also released the new drawing style for Team Juniper. Poor Jean. They murdered my boy. He has the Cardin haircut. For those of you who've seen it, it's like it's kind of like Connor's hair from last year, if you guys kind of remember it. It kind of looks
Yeah.
like that, but blonde and animated, not so great. But for the most part, that's what it is. It's now they're like, oh, like morality of like we're trying to do the right thing, but is it really the right thing? Oh no, we don't know. So we'll see how that goes.
I have a lot of comments on that.
I know you do, Devin.
Yeah, let me ask you something, and this is, I'm going to word this in the most like neutral way possible. Are they still hand painting backgrounds?
I don't know.
Okay. That was what made me really want to tear my hair out in season 5, was when they started using digital paintings as backgrounds instead of modeling cities and things. And I was like, wow, you're really cutting corners now.
Yeah. I don't know. I was focusing on the cool boom boom action.
There wasn't any in that season.
Well,
It's
I meant
all
like in the
reused
trailer.
animations from. Oh, you mean in this trailer? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the trailers are. Say what you want about Ruby, and I will. But the trailers are always very well put together.
Yeah. You also want to talk about something for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Terminator was. Unfortunately, we didn't get Ash from Evil Dead like we thought we were going to. But Terminator was one of the confirmed characters for this game. Mortal Kombat has had sort of a streak now of putting in like horror and action movie characters. We did Alien, we did Predator, we did Freddy, we've done Jason. And so one of the ones for Mortal Kombat 11 is the T-800. It's modeled after Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in this upcoming Terminator film. And it looks awesome. That film looks awesome, which is what I said about Genesis. So now I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I think maybe I can consider this film Terminator 3. Hopefully. If not, I'll just play Mortal Kombat as Terminator, and I'll make up the story in my head.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Terminator will be back. Ha ha ha. I know my jokes are bad tonight, guys. And also, My Hero One Justice released some stuff.
Yeah, One's Justice 2. I saw some scans for this in a magazine and like a V-Jump, and I thought it was going to be like a mobile game or something. But no, they officially announced at a convention, I think a week or so ago, that they were going to be making it, and we just got a trailer for My Hero One's Justice 2, which is incredibly exciting, unless you're like me and you were waiting for the first game to go down in price at GameStop, and now you're like, well, why would I buy the old one when they've got a new one? So
yeah,
it's going to be between Dragon Ball, One Punch Man, and My Hero, it's going to be a tough season for buying new games.
I can imagine. So it's also kind of a tough season for Call of Duty right now.
Yeah. So Black Ops 4 Treyarch was saying that there was going to be this thing that they supported for years to come. It was going to be a different kind of Call of Duty, and it was going to be like more service oriented. They were going to like try to make it a lasting thing. It's been about a year since it's released. They're releasing their last piece of DLC for it soon. So that went out the window. And people were already mad that it didn't have a campaign. They were mad about the microtransaction stuff. I think more microtransaction stuff is coming down the pipe with this DLC. And yeah, they're handing everything over to Modern Warfare, which, made people angry enough. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding Black Ops 4, and this is just like another one of those like empty promises from Activision.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, now we have confirmed they will have a survival mode that's PlayStation specific, and they will have pay-to-win loot boxes. So now people are canceling their pre-orders for Modern Warfare en masse. So it is not a good time to be Treyarch or Infinity Ward on the Call of Duty front. People thought things with Black Ops 4 and especially with Modern Warfare were going to be different, and it seems like that is not true at all. Things are more the same than they ever were.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Ha! That's Halo. That's not Call of Duty.
Oh, well.
It's because you've never played a Call of Duty game.
No, I haven't.
They're fun. I like the team deathmatch still. Just their Black Ops.
I'm just a sucker for zombies.
I'm just basic.
Which is why I like Black Ops 4, because it was like half of it was about zombies.
Yeah, that and Capture the Flag were like my two big things.
Yeah, well, a big thing for Kyoto Animation is that they're canceling one of their planned fan events this November. Eli, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so it was revealed on the official website for their fan days in 2019 that they were canceling the first of their two planned events. And the reason for this is they are going to be, instead of the event on November 3rd and 4th, which ironically is the same weekend as our NebCon, Anime NebCon that we're going to, Kyoto Animation will create a place inside the city of Kyoto during the weekend where fans can go and say their farewells to the creators that they felt a strong connection to, like through their work, that were lost during the fire.
Yeah.
So I think it's really heart-wrenching and nice that they're creating like a safer just space that everyone can come in, just kind of say their feelings and whatnot.
Yeah, I definitely think it's something interesting. I feel like a lot of companies don't really do that. They don't really provide like a space for people to go and be like, yeah, like in a weird sense, like they're a part of our lives. It's almost like we knew them, not like really, because you never really know anybody. But it's still kind of nice to have that little memorial.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for you guys to realize that I'm a figment of Will's imagination.
Actually, this is very true. He has always been here, and this is kind of a random moment to bring this up, so I'm glad that you did. But yeah, just a figment.
Yeah.
He'll go away soon.
When is he gonna go away?
I don't know. Maybe
I know,
like
you've all been waiting for it.
maybe like when I turn 16 or something.
Yeah.
You're not 16?
He's
like
a little
12.
boy.
Yeah, you've known this for a while.
I have?
I gotta explain everything to you.
Well, why don't you explain a lawsuit to us?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good transition. So there's this great show on the interwebs
Great
called
asterisk.
Comedian in, well, yeah.
It's hit and miss. It's hit and
it's a
miss.
fun idea for an interview show, in my opinion. It's something
so.
different. It's not like late night, which is
Right.
something that I
Yeah.
don't enjoy. It's comedians in cars getting coffee. It's hosted by Jerry Seinfeld. And it's just a show where they get in a car and they get some coffee and they talk about, whatever and stuff. And it's usually other comedians. It's other influential people for the United States and Canada and Mexico and all that. Well, apparently this show stole some of its idea from a lot of different places and stuff. But the main one in the news pretty recently was a copyright battle between this former collaborator of his named, I believe, Christian Charles. It was this copyright lawsuit because he made this documentary of Seinfeld and his friend in 2002 called Comedian. And it was basically them going on this cross-country trip throughout the United States or whatever. And he alleged that that was basically the same idea for the show as comedians in cars getting coffee. The judge didn't think so. They barred the lawsuit. Apparently, Seinfeld did pay some money for it, but the idea has technically been around since, I guess, 2011 or so. I think it's a good show. I just don't think that lawsuit could carry out because
It's Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah, and like there's a lot of shows that do the same thing as like comedians in cars. You could even like argue that the thing that James Corden does on the is it Late Night Show? I'm pretty sure it is. And they like sing in the car or something like that. Well, then this show gets coffee in the car and everybody's doing things in vehicles and stuff. So I don't know. Nothing new, but it was just something interesting that I read earlier this week.
Yeah. This kind of got me a little off topic, but I was at the newspaper earlier this week, and we're talking about someone who won a lawsuit because another person didn't use the Oxford comma in their contract. And they're like, oh, we weren't clear on like what was being said because there was no Oxford comma. And the judge agreed.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. You need punctuation.
In law, yeah.
Yeah, in law. So I don't know, like lawsuits are wild because you never know what you're gonna get. And we didn't know we were gonna get Clerks 3.
Would have been a segue I'd used for Forrest Gump too, but I guess it'll work.
Clerks 3, you say?
Clerks
Wow.
3.
Okay, guys, this is an okay thing. That's something that I don't feel about. So, close your eyes.
No,
Okay.
you're not my dad.
or choose. It's optional. Picture your favorite movie from October of 1994, and it does.
I know it well.
It's so low budget and so amateur, but you love the material, you love the characters, you love the plot, you love just the stupid things that they say, and all of a sudden it makes like $20 million at the box office. Your Kevin Smith director gets a whole bunch of great filmography under his belt over the last 20 years, and then he comes out with Clerks 2, which wasn't so great. That's fine. This is my opinion. And then goes to Jalen Bob Strikes Back, and then creates a whole entire series behind that, and he does everything in his arc to keep that one thing alive. And then he comes out with Clerks 3, or at least that's the announcement. He's returning with Jeff Anderson, which was his main side character, a supporting actor, if you will, Randall. And then I believe Brian O'Halloran's coming back to play Dante, the main character, who has that really rough day at the convenience store, if you will. This actually is my favorite movie, Clerks from 1994. I don't geek commend it because it would be like too rough to hear you guys not enjoy it, and I really don't think you guys would like understand, but it's just a weird sense of humor that you gotta have. But it's a cult movie, so that's why people are super excited for it. And he did a bunch of promotional stuff on Twitter and Instagram for his other new film, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which I believe is coming out fairly soon.
Yeah.
And that's a whole bucket of celebrities, if you're really into that stuff. So
for those of you who need a recap of the history lesson we were given, first they made Clerks, then they made Clerks 2, then they didn't make Clerks 3, and now they're making it.
Yes.
Yeah, Clerks 3 has been on the table for at least 10 or 15 years, and it just really hasn't happened. I guess it was because of Clerks 2, and they weren't really like satisfied with it, which I understand. Clerks 3, I'm not sure how it will do overall, but I'm a sucker. I'll go see it.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are going to go see it just because they're like you. They're suckers, and they want to go see it.
This is going to be like a limited theater kind of deal where I'm going to have to go to the big city to go and watch it at the local independent movie theater. So I guess we'll see until then. But
movie theater that don't need no man.
Don't need no man.
Don't need no man.
He's independent.
Yeah. And unfortunately, so speaking of geek commendations, you were talking about this. One of my previous geek commendations has been the band Set It Off, and their guitarist, Dan, is his hiatus is ending, and he's leaving the band.
Aww.
So Dan has been like a founding member back when this band formed in 2008. And there have been allegations. No one has really specified the type of allegations that have been made, but he was taking a hiatus, and the band, released a statement back in May just saying, hey, we really appreciate you all standing behind us, but we've decided as both professionals and as this person's friends that he's going to take a hiatus, and we'll decide the future, like how things are going to progress then. And just this last week, he announced that he's not coming back. He's been on every album since the very beginning, including the recent one that I had you guys listen to, Midnight Thoughts. And I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet because this is the second time they've lost someone like in the band, like as far as like allegations go. Because they lost another, I think it was like their bassist or something like that a while back.
I wonder if they're linked or something. Yeah.
There are rumors that it might be linked, but no one's for sure with how all that's going. But I don't know. It's just kind of sad for me because like I'm such a fan of like this group. I don't know. It's just an interesting time. Dan also did come out with his own statement saying, "Love you all dearly. Hope you understand. Over time, I just grew to realize my heart truly was being at home with my family. I'm the happiest and healthiest I've been in years." So I don't know. I hope Dan's doing better. I mean, go you, Dan. Do what you need to do. Take care of your life.
Yes, sir.
Because he's obviously listening to Nerdmageddon right now.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly.
That and 60 million people over in a certain country, Japan. So.
Yes. All right. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to be doing some trivia. We all have picked 2 topics, and we're going to test our knowledge, and our friend Court has also sent some questions for us. So
yeah.
We're going to see how that goes. But thank you guys for tuning in, and as always,
You nerd it here first.